Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Mai, and today's video is this large family home that I have built in the world of Newcrest that also has a little private basement suite underneath that you can either rent out to make some extra income, or you can probably also turn it into a grandparent suite if you have your grandparents living with you. And we are starting off with most of the shell already built. I tend to do that a lot with my larger builds or just my odd looking builds that I just need some extra time on the exterior with. But right now we're just putting some columns on the corners to kind of create, I don't know, a little bit more of like a capped off look. I love doing that with especially that thin column from Get Together. And for the wallpapers, I have used just a base game paneling that I have also paired with some scalloped wallpaper on the roofing to just create a little bit more of that dreamy look. And it just, I don't know, it looks a little bit different, adds a little bit of variety. And we're working right now on our private entrance into the basement suite. What I did is I just created the basement and then I clicked on that highlighted yellow bit on top and I just said remove ceiling, so then it looks completely open to the outside so that we can flood our basement with some natural lighting. I think that that's just a great way to do that. And since the thinner columns that I used on the outside of the building, on the edges, is a little bit too thin to look normal with the half wall, I don't know what the crown molding on the half walls, or what they're called, the trim. For some reason it clips in, so I ended up also pairing it with some concrete columns. I think they might be from Get Famous. That's what my instinct is telling me, but they're just the same color and texture but just a little bit thicker, so it was a great way to kind of match them up. And here we're working on our front porch. I've decided to use a door from the Seasons expansion pack. I've actually used a lot of items from Seasons. I think that it was just the perfect style for the home that I was building here. I really wanted to use one of the awnings that we have, but I just ended up using some more roofing, and I think it looks pretty great. I'd love to know what you guys think. This one is actually pretty similar to a house that I made now quite a while ago, a few months ago, that it was called the Perfect Craftsman Home. And yeah, this one's fairly similar in style, but I actually might like this one a little bit better. I don't know, they do have their differences, they all have their strengths and their weaknesses, but we have started now on the interior. I did the floor plan off camera because it was quite a lot to do. But I also did the bathroom so that, you know, we don't waste time actually seeing them furnished, but we can still kind of sneak a little look while we're building the rest of it and furnishing the rest of the house. This honestly all came out a lot bigger than I was expecting. So yeah, it was just a lot of spaces to furnish. This main house ends up having 4 bedrooms, which is quite a lot. I totally wasn't expecting that, but it was, I mean, it was good, and I really like the way that I furnished everything. But we are working on the entryway now, and this is actually quite a large entryway space, so I did also struggle figuring out how to fill it all in. So over here we're putting a little bookshelf next to the stairs, and because we're working with platforms, the wallpaper is kind of clip in, so I ended up going with this wallpaper from Discover University because most of the wallpapers that have trim don't actually show the trim due to the platform. So this one I felt was a sneaky little way to kind of give the illusion of that extra I don't know, I really like it when they have the edges to just kind of show a start and end point with the wallpaper, and it's not just flush with everything. So I don't know, I thought it was interesting. I don't think I've ever used this one before, but yeah, the entryway is done. I kept it very simple because, again, I didn't really know what to do with it. And we are working on the living room here, and I decided to go with the modular sofa from Dream Home Decorator. And I really wish that at some point we get more modular sofas because we only have the 2 styles that came with that pack, and I'm just getting kind of tired of them. I don't think that they work with every space or every style, and the swatches are also just really limited because the 2 of them just have the same swatches, so you just don't get that much variety. And I was also going to pair it with the ottoman from that pack, but I think instead I switch it out for this little love seat from Book Nook. I just absolutely love that kit. And the love seat especially, I just find myself pairing it with like every single living room that I can like ever furnish. And for the end table, I actually used an end table from the Desert Luxe kit, which is kind of wacky. I've never used that end table before. It's just like a wooden block, but I thought it looked really cool. And here next to the little like half bath that we have downstairs and this very large window, I decided to place a couple of armchairs from Growing Together. I paired it with that end table from Tiny Living, and we have a bookshelf from high school years. They all ended up having the exact same wood swatch, so it turned out really nice. And here I'm just trying to find curtains. I always struggle with curtains. Even like while I was doing this, I was like, ooh, I wonder if I should just like skip the curtains right now and figure that out when in like post-production, because it was just like, it was complicated. But I ended up choosing, I think these ones from, I think they're from Eco Lifestyle. And yeah, they just had a really nice soft green swatch, which was cute. And over here in this corner, I end up placing this stand-up piano. I was gonna say bench. It does have a bench, but it is a piano. And I think, yeah, it's from Growing Together and it's really cute. I love it. I had a little bit of a hard time just like making sure that everything looked like symmetrical or nice here. It was just a little bit complicated. But here when I'm adding now, I'm going to add a little bar stool in this little corner. It's probably one of my favorite things to do right now is to put little bar stools in corners that like don't have a lot of space for something. And yeah, I ended up picking one from Dream Home Decorator. And on this wall back here, I end up creating a little custom gallery wall with some, I think mostly base game paintings. And this was a little bit complicated to do because, I don't know, I was trying to like size them up, size them down, trying to figure out like the orientation, because some of them are like rectangular, some of them are square, they all have very different frames. But slowly but surely we do get there, and I'm pretty happy with the result. I wouldn't say that it's my best gallery wall. My best gallery wall was definitely in my Taurus apartment. If you haven't seen my Taurus apartment, it's part 2 from my astrology apartment series where I built an apartment building and I'm making apartments in each of them, like that are all corresponding with like each zodiac sign. And yeah, for my Taurus one, I made a really cute gallery wall and I love it. You can check it out on my channel. And later on in the week, I'm actually going to be posting my Gemini apartment, so you can keep your eye out for that. I know that like zodiacs and like astrology isn't everybody's cup of tea, but honestly, the apartments are just really cute. So if you just like cute apartments, you should check it out. And the living room is coming together really nicely. I'm just like completing this very open area that there's just like, I don't know, there's just like a lot of empty space, which is honestly kind of nice, especially in a family home. I know that I really loved the big empty space that we had in my living room because that's where I would put on the shows for my parents. And over here on the couch, I decided to just add a little bit of clutter on the couch itself because it just felt like, I don't know, it was gonna add a little bit of realism, and I was trying to make sure that the items weren't floating, but I think they might be floating a tiny bit, but I mean, you can never really tell. Like it's pretty like flush with it, at least enough. And we're moving on into the kitchen now. And right now it's just looking a little bit dark for me, so I do end up switching the wallpaper to a different swatch so that, yeah, it's just like the same wallpaper from Discover University, but in this slightly lighter swatch. And I think it looks amazing. I really, really love this kitchen. I used the items from the Home Chef Hustle kit and, stuff pack, and yeah, it just looks amazing. I think it's quite like a funky shape, but I think it still looks really nice, and it's very functional, fully functional, and it just, I don't know, it just looks a little bit unique, which I love to do. I love creating unique things. Sometimes whenever I'm like building, I like see an item that I don't use a lot, and I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna build an entire house around that one item. It's always a really fun way to get inspired. And yeah, just completing it with some curtains over here, looking out onto the beautiful big backyard. And I think over here, yeah, just adding some extra little like smaller appliances on the counters. I thought about putting the waffle maker, but the waffle maker just looks so awkward sometimes. So if you want to make the waffles, definitely go for it. But yeah, it just like, I don't know, it kind of just looks silly sometimes. And we have some aprons up and are now placing the final little touch of our runner here. I really can't wait for the Sims team to add more runners because, I don't know, it doesn't feel like there's enough variety for me. And here we have our tiny but mighty dining room. I think it's small but mighty. You know what? Tiny but mighty works. Our tiny but mighty dining room. I've just placed the table from Horse Ranch and some chairs from the Dream Home Decorator game pack. And this house, this dining room actually ends up looking really nice. Obviously not super great for entertaining, but I think it's still really cute and functional, which is important. But I just put a couple of base game hutches around. I think over here I place the Growing Together mirror with a little stool in front of it and just add a couple of decorations. It would probably work better as like just a breakfast nook, but we don't have any other dining space, and I'm still like really happy with this. It's honestly, dining rooms aren't always like something that I'm like super happy with, but this one's honestly like probably one of my favorite spaces in the house. And over here off of the entryway, I've decided to make a little laundry room. This could also be a really functional bathroom, but because of those really big windows off to the side, I just felt like maybe just a laundry room would be better. And we are now upstairs and working on our primary bedroom. And I did something a little bit different over here. Because I've placed the back of the bed on a 3-tile space or 3-tile wall, I couldn't fit the regular nightstands. So instead I've used these shelves from high school years, and I've kind of made like this slightly built-in cabinet look that I do like in post-production polish up, but I didn't really want to spend too much time on it right now. I don't know, it's really cool. I've never done this before. I think it looks really unique, and it just creates like a nice little like private nook for the parents. They also have their own ensuite, which is great. And in front of the bed, I actually place a little entryway table, and I put in a TV so that they can have a little privacy and watch their movies if the kids are downstairs watching something, whatever it is that they want to watch. I think that especially for a large family, it's nice to have at least 2 separate spaces to watch movies and stuff. And over here in this little corner, we are placing a desk area. And since we have a very large gap off to the left here, as you can probably tell, I came up with the idea to create like a bookshelf kind of like built in, like it's connected to the desk kind of bookshelf. So I embarked on the very long and painful journey of trying to find a bookshelf that actually like matched up nicely. And in the end, after trying probably every single one in the catalog, I end up picking one from Base Game, actually. The one that kind of just looks like it's from IKEA, pretty much. This one, it had the practically perfect swatch. I don't know if it's like 100% a perfect match, but it looks good and you can't really tell the difference. And I don't know, I just thought it was kind of an interesting way to create that little desk nook. And there's also this kind of like entry hallway area, like where you actually come into the bedroom. And a video that I saw recently about just like home design and home decor was talking about how, like, you know how most people have like that chair where they place all of the clothes that aren't really clean enough to go back in the drawer, but are also just like not dirty enough to go in the laundry. And they talked about just putting hooks up on the wall for your like in-between clothes. So I used these like little wall decor items from Base Game and I just sized them down, and I placed a towel from Spa Day on it to kind of just look like there's clothes hanging. And I don't know, I just thought it was a little bit interesting, kind of, I don't know, something I've never done before. But now we're working on the first of the kids' bedrooms, and this first room is going to be a toddler's room. It could easily get turned into an infant's room if you want to just like switch out that bed for a crib. But I feel like I do a lot of infant rooms, so I thought it would be nice to do a toddler room. And yeah, I just like fill it up with toys, and I put in a bookshelf, I put in a wardrobe, and here I'm just putting in a little potty chair in our bathroom. You just sneak a little peek there. And yeah, this one's just like really cute, really simple. I also on the wall placed this little decal from Growing Together. I love that little decal. It's so cute. And this like orange and blue theme in here is like one of my favorites. It's really cute. And yeah, over here under the window, I'm trying to place a toy box. Doesn't really work out, so instead I actually place an ottoman from the kids' room stuff. I love that little ottoman. I think that's the perfect little size to fit into those really thin areas. And next to the bed, I had like a bunch of little animal decor, like stuffed animal things, so that, I don't know, they have like a little zoo theme going on. And here we're working on a bedroom for a child. And this is actually probably my favorite of the kids' bedrooms. It is so cute. It turns out really, really nice. And yeah, just like kind of random. I wasn't really like planning this theme, but when I found this bed, I was just like, ooh, a nice little like Starry Night theme would be so cute. So I ended up just going full out on this theme. I picked out that like space themed rug, and yeah, I also, for like the colors and everything, I really like went full on into the like dark blues, little bit of like a turquoise teal, kind of like greeny colors. I didn't want to go like with only one color, so I did try my best to like create a little bit of variety, and I think I did a pretty good job. I'd love to know, let me know what you guys think. I mean, afterwards I'd love to know which of the kids' rooms is your favorite, because I don't know, they all have their own little like style and personality, and a different like color scheme. So I don't know, I'm just like really interested in yeah, what you guys have to say. And on the desk I just placed like some books and some crafting items. I just think it's super cute, adds like a lot of like lived in vibes. And under the window I end up placing another one of those ottomans, except in a different color to actually match. And we are now working on the teens' bedroom, and this room has a lot of like reds and oranges and yellows. And yeah, I feel like this is definitely like a teen that's maybe like on their way out of the house, like they're kind of finishing high school maybe, or they're like, I don't know, maybe they're like 16 kind of, where they're just like nearing the end. And there's honestly in my head like quite a big age gap between each of the siblings, so I don't know. But yeah, I wanted this one to be closer to the like door to the balcony, because that just felt a little bit more teenager vibes, and also I guess next to the stairs so that they can sneak out easier. But I used a lot of items from high school years. It is pretty hard not to when you're making a teenager's room, because I mean the items are just like perfect for a teenager. But I really love this little rug collage that I make. I use that sunflower rug from the kids' room pack, and I think I also use a rug from high school years. I think I use 2 other rugs from high school years, so like this one and that like the round furry one that is always one of my favorites. But yeah, I don't think I've ever used the swatch of this bed before. I usually stay away from red. It's not really one of my favorite colors, but yeah, this room is just like, I don't know, it's really cute, it's really artsy, and I wanted it to feel a little bit, I don't know, a little bit, not like spicy, but yeah, just a little bit like, I don't know, like this person has maybe a bit of a louder personality, and the color red just kind of embodies that a little bit. And we are working now on our balcony, and I kept this super simple. I feel like I find it very difficult to furnish balconies sometimes, so I just put seating areas and a telescope, of course, for our space-loving child. And I just think it turns out, yeah, just like really nice, really cute. And we are now working on our basement suite, and because I lifted up the platform just on the outside so that the stairs weren't so long, I decided to also place a little platform inside to lower it back down to our normal height. And we're just working on the kitchen. The basement suite has like a 1-bedroom, it is a 1-bedroom, but of course if you want, it's super easy to just add another one, because there's still so much space down here to like, I don't know, make it either you can create like a second basement suite if you wanted to, or you can also make this a 2-bedroom. I mean, honestly, the possibilities down here are endless. And over here on this little platform thing, we are making a little entryway, of course. And I placed that little coin dish that I love from, I think this is like the Everyday Clutter kit. I feel like it's perfect for any entryway. I mean, it's very much made for an entryway. And trying to pick a mirror, because of the platform, a lot of the mirrors just like don't really sit right. They like go too high. So I did my best. I ended up picking this one from Parenthood, which was just like, it's naturally always way too low, so it works. And yeah, this apartment ended up being, yeah, I'm gonna call it an apartment. I made it quite modern. I made it very gray, and I've made it very, very minimal. I didn't even clutter it up too much in post-production, which is usually what I do, because I just felt like, I don't know, the person that lives here, I imagine that they like rent it out to just like a young person who, I don't know, they just don't have a lot of clutter yet. Like they're still accumulating those little like tchotchkes and things. But I imagine that maybe they were a music producer or something in that field. And I added those items from Get Famous as just like, I don't know, cool little way to add some hobby items, a little bit of personality, and yeah, just kept the colors really neutral. I feel like maybe this apartment just kind of screams like millennial, if you know what I mean. Like the very light colors and the very minimal design. I don't know, that's just the vibe that I get from it. And I do place some shelves up here, just these ones from the Home Chef Hustle stuff pack. I don't actually put anything on them, I just kind of leave them as they are. But I don't know, they just also felt like kind of cool decorations. Maybe that's where like any like accolades are gonna go in the future. Or I'm sure like if you download this build, you can come up with a cool little storyline or cool little things that you can put on there. You can find this on the gallery. I'm just putting it as like a normal house, not a residential rental, so that you can be flexible with like the way you want to use the basement. But yeah, you can find it on the gallery under the same name that I use here, maiplaysthesims, under both the hashtag and the EA account ID. Sometimes I have a hard time finding people's EA account IDs on the gallery because it's super glitchy. But for the hashtags, usually much easier. And over here, we're working on our bedroom. I kept this very simple, and I really love the color scheme that I used in here. Those like light blues, just like, I don't know, this feels so airy, but like still very cozy. And yeah, just like a really, I don't know, it's just like a really nice, comfortable room. And I really love that bookshelf from Growing Together that I used in the corner there. Like I said, this entire apartment I kept fairly simple, so yeah, I didn't clutter it too much. And we are actually going to see me furnish this bathroom because I just kind of forgot to furnish it before, and honestly just did it really quick, really simple. And yeah, just this looks fairly similar to all of the other bathrooms in the house anyways. And now we're working on our backyard with a touch of the landscaping, not all of the landscaping. You can probably tell I did do a lot of the backyard, or a tasteful amount of the backyard off camera before I like started filming the basement suite. And yeah, just place some oak trees around, a swing set, of course. I love adding swing sets. I think they're super cute. And I mean, the backyard was just like really, really big. So it wouldn't, here's what I'm trying to say. It wouldn't make sense to not add a swing set. You have to. But yeah, just adding a lot of those low-lying flowers around that I love to add because, I don't know, they just make it feel way more overgrown. And a lot of terrain paint. Terrain paint is a great way to really make your two-dimensional builds three-dimensional. And especially when you have like a swing set or a picnic bench, like using the terrain paint to kind of look like they stuck those like poles in, and there's like a little bit of dirt around it. Just, I don't know, it really helps. It looks great. And yeah, just adding a lot more of that. It really just makes it pop, doesn't it? Like it looks so nice. And because I didn't like the way that the bushes were kind of sticking out of the picket fence, I decided to just like pull them out slightly, just using the Alt key, and yeah, just make it a little bit more flexible and custom so that it's a little bit more pleasing on the eyes. And of course, I just love these flowers so much. And I am adding rocks. Rocks are another great way to make your landscaping look way more professional, way more natural. I love doing that. You can size them up, size them down. Over there, I like raised it up a bit. It is floating, but you can't really tell because of all of the flowers that I placed around them. So that'll be our little sneaky secret. And yeah, the living room, or not the living room, the backyard came together really nice. Over here I'm just adding some gardening items as well. I wanted to use the bigger ones, but I don't know, they just weren't really working, so I ended up using the smaller ones. Just placing some seating out here as well. And of course some outdoor lighting. I also placed these ones just around the grass, like the ones that you kind of stick into the ground. I just kind of scatter them without any like rhyme or reason, no symmetry or anything. It's all just a little bit chaotic. I can imagine like if the kids are getting home late or something, you're gonna want a couple more lights outside, not just the ones against the house, but along that entire path. And we are finally at the screenshots, you guys. I'm so excited for you guys to see all of the last little details that I added. Yeah, this house just ended up looking so cute. I love that private little entryway into the basement. I think that it feels so realistic. Like this definitely looks like a house that I have like been in, that I have been at. And oh, look at our little entryway. It's so cute. I also placed the little coin dish in here. I love the little backpacks at the front. It's just like so fitting for this kind of space to just like have the kids leave their backpacks at the front in our little entryway. And here we have our laundry room. Honestly, a really nice view for the laundry room. I also cluttered it up with some detergent and stuff. And here in our living room, I placed some items on the entryway table. I placed a little chessboard on our coffee table. And yeah, this one just like feels really lived in and comfortable. That's kind of the vibe that I always want for my living rooms, is I just want them to feel comfortable. And here's actually our little half bath downstairs. I decided to take the picture through the mirror so that you could see the toilet and the sink at the same time. And here's our kitchen. I think I just added a tiny amount of clutter around here. There's a lot of cabinet space, so I don't see why you should have all the clutter on the counters. To me, the house looks lived in enough, so we don't need to overdo it. And here we have our simple little dining area. I'm really excited to like fill up all of those photo album things, or like photo frames with family photos. It's just photos. I can speak. It just like adds so much realism to all of this. And here we have our main bathroom. It's quite large and it doesn't actually have a shower. That shower shouldn't be functional, but I think it still looks really cute, and I love the little clutter that I've added. And here we have our primary bedroom. I think I just added a little rug in here, an extra plant, and some clutter on the desk, of course. And I think also like behind the bed, or like on the little nightstands, I added some items just to make it look a little bit more real. And here we have our ensuite, super cute. It's just adorable. I really like it. And here we have our toddler's room. I put like that little like measuring, you know, like on the wall where you can measure their height. I think it's super cute. And I also put in that little frame of like the 3 shoes in the 3 different sizes. And here we have our kids' room. I decided to put a stool next to the bookshelf in case they needed to get a book on the top shelf. Then they'd have something to step on. And I just added a couple more posters on the wall so that they, you know, have a little bit more personality in here. But this room is just like, it's just my favorite. And over here we have our teenagers' room. It's definitely like a little bit edgy, I think. It's definitely very bright and exciting, and they probably love having their friends over. And I think I also added just like a little bit more clutter on the desk and on the nightstand, just yeah, to make it feel that much more lived in. And I don't think I changed anything on the balcony. Here I did add plants on this little porch because, yeah, just make it a little bit cuter. And here we have our backyard, a lot of functional space. You could probably add a lot of extra items out there depending on your Sims personality. And here we have our little like downstairs entryway into our basement suite. And I've definitely left this like way more bare and simple than I probably had to, but to me it just felt like, you know, you don't really know who you're going to be renting this out to, so I felt like maybe it was better to keep it a little bit less personalized and also give you guys the opportunity to do whatever it is that you want with it and not have to like delete a bunch of individual clutter items. But yeah, I do also just like really love how new and renovated this entire like basement suite feels. Like they designed it recently to be a rental property. I don't know, just makes it a little bit more realistic in my head that way. But these are our last few screenshots. I'd love to know what you guys think and if you enjoyed it as much as I did. Bye buds, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos, comment, and share with your friends. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.